Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show with your hosts Lee Silber and Ellen Goodwin. This podcast is short, fun, and jam-packed with good ideas that you can start using right away. And here's your hosts, Lee and Ellen.
Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show. I'm your co-host, Ellen Goodwin, along with my co-host,
Lee Silber. I was procrastinating.
And you're procrastinating. I say your name. Okay, we're going to jump right in. It's springtime and spring cleaning time, right?
Spring cleaning is something that not only the Easter Bunny does it, but we all need to do it. Just especially if you live in a place where the seasons change. Obviously, you want to rotate. The things you wear the most and need the most at that time should be the easiest to get to. The things you don't need anymore at that moment or for the next few months gets put away in a higher place. But people and get rid. You know, this is there's moments where you want to change the. Maybe whenever you change the clocks on daylight savings,
right,
is a reminder. Oh, I need to pay my taxes, or you know, what I mean, there's benchmark times, and so New Year's Eve, it's a fresh start. Spring, it's spring cleaning. July, I'm not sure about that. Let's just have a good.
Let's
old
go with
time.
spring. But you bring up a very good point. People always say when the time changes, change your batteries in your smoke detectors. That's
there
a great, yeah. I knew there was a thing. But you're right. Spring cleaning, something we all need to do. But I got to say, people put it off. People procrastinate on it.
They do what's called Zen organizing. It's where you think about organizing, but you don't do anything.
Aha.
I would prefer people do what's called the shavanda.
The shavanda.
It sounds like a Yiddish term. Oh, the shavanda. No, it just means you know someone's coming to your house. So you shove stuff under the bed. You shove it under the closet. You shove it under the car. But things are moving because you've started. You've done something.
Do
something.
Right. So my favorite way, and I've talked about it before, best way to get started, to quit procrastinating, set a timer. Time yourself. Give yourself 20 minutes. Give yourself 5 minutes. You can get a lot done in 5 minutes. Set a timer on your phone. Set it on a kitchen timer so you hear it ticking. And do as much as you can in 5 minutes. It's amazing what you can do. Or 20. And then once you get started, we all know what happens then.
Once you've begun, you're halfway done. That's the saying.
And that's the saying.
It's true.
It is true. It is true.
And I think the reason that people procrastinate spring cleaning is it's overwhelming. And you have to make some difficult choices. Do I keep it? Do I save it? Do I leave it out? Do I put it away? Is this something that makes me feel bad? Do I want to get rid of it? I mean, there's so many. It's emotional. It's physical. And it certainly is something that we're afraid of because it seems like too much. Can I even handle this? And like you said, just break it down to something simple. So for me, and I know I've said this for other things, but I really believe in this. I have those little orange, yellow, blue, red sticky dots. And I'll color code things and I'll just walk around and say, as summer comes up, am I going to need this in the next 6 months? And so I put things away, and I think I've said this before, but for me, I'm a visual person, so I store things in clear containers so I could look and see, or I use color-coded containers, meaning, the Halloween stuff goes in an orange and black container, which they sell, during that season, green and red for Christmas. So you could see what things are without having to climb up and look for them. Easier something is to do, the more likely you'll do it.
Exactly. And the other thing with spring cleaning is don't look at it as, oh my God, I have to do the whole house. You're never going to get started if that's the case. But if you look and you go, I'm cleaning this one bookcase. I'm going through this one drawer and getting rid of the winter clothes and putting the spring clothes in, their summer clothes. Just one thing. Just break it down to something little. That's so much easier.
But your idea of a timer is good because if you or like me, you'll pull something off or down, and then you'll say, oh, I remember this photo album. And then an hour goes by. But if you say, look, I'm just going to get these into these piles. And that's what we need.
Yeah.
It sounds like, unstructured would make it easier. But it doesn't. Having strict boundaries of give away, keep, store, whatever, it just simplifies it. Believe it or not, having that structure, even if you're a super woo person. And I will say, if you are excited about spring cleaning, and some people are, because if you could picture what it'll feel like, what it'll be like, what it'll look like when you're done, that motivation gets you excited to start. And so I would say if you set a timer, but you're still like really energized, keep going.
Oh, most definitely.
Keep going until you burn out.
Well, every time I start small when I'm doing something like that, I end up
doing way more than I expected to.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's not the voice of God. That's the
Nope.
voice of Wayne, which
Yeah.
But the small stuff, doing the small, tax time. I know some of our listeners have already filed their taxes. They've gotten returns, but we're coming up on tax day, and I just did my taxes. And you know what? I hate doing them, so I just broke it down. I gave myself 10 days before my appointment, and each day I only had to do a little thing. Like one day, print out the planner from the CPA. The next day, I just went through and organized receipts. And the next day, but I didn't do it all at once. And so it was 15, 20 minutes a day, and that was it. I was done the day before I had to go. Actually, 2 days. There was no stress.
and you had the accountability. You were committed to a date and someone waiting for you, and that
Mhm.
forced you to do it. Also, I would say if it involves like cleaning, organizing, and just going through your stuff, having a friend there as a support. You know what? You can let
Right.
this go, or you know what? I'll take that.
And
It
then
doesn't fit you anymore, honey, but it'll fit me. Someone there that will help you with support, encouragement,
Mhm.
and just physically help you put things
Exactly.
away. That could be just what you need is, look, I'll trade you. You come to me and help me organize, and especially if you've got a left brain friend and you're a right brainer, or
Right.
vice versa, and then you would reciprocate with some other thing that they can't or don't like to do. You know, the thing that you hate to do, somebody else
Somebody
loves to do
loves
it.
to
Right.
do.
So find that person.
And one of the other things you can do when you spring cleaning or just organizing, take a picture before you start. Because if you take a picture and then let's say you take a picture on your phone and you look at it, it's totally different than you just looking at I'm like thinking of a cupboard. And you like look at it and in your mind you're like, "Oh, that's okay." But you take a picture of it and you see and all of a sudden it's objective. It's not subjective anymore. And you go, holy cow, I need to do something here. So, as random as that sounds, it's got some cognitive bias that I could tell you about. But when we see things and they're in a photo,
And I
it's
would
totally
say,
different.
yeah, it's good to have one, binge cleaning. But every time I open a cabinet, like the spice cabinet, I'll do what you just said, but photographically with my brain,
Right.
and just say, wait a minute, there's two cumins, and I'll just pour the half of the one into the other. So I'm always trying to stay on top of it rather than let it pile up and be a big job down the road. I'll still have those spring cleaning sessions, which I love them. I wish I could get everyone out there listening.
Okay, I'm
You
gonna
gotta
have
learn to love
Lee.
it.
Lee is gonna come to my house, and
Yeah.
we're gonna do. Oh, this is gonna be great. Okay, you guys, get out there, get your spring cleaning done. This has been the spring cleaning episode of the Faster, Easier, Better show.